What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the MLB FanDuel Tournament Plays video presented by PrizePicks. I'm Eric Lindquist, filling in for Adam Scherer. Excited to talk through my three favorite pitchers and three favorite tournament stacks for FanDuel purposes today. But first, use promo code Awesemo. Sign up over at PrizePicks today. Get up to $100 first match deposit bonus. Plus, you'll get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum just by checking out their product. It's really fun. I guarantee you will enjoy it. Plus, use OddsShopper in conjunction with it. That'll help out a lot. But let's jump on over to my three favorite pitchers for the FanDuel board. And we're going to start off with a pretty popular pitcher, but I don't want to tell you to do anything that I'm not doing on FanDuel. And I'm going to play a lot of Lucas Giolito against this Angels offense. Yes, they are scary. There's no doubt about it. Against righties on the season, second best WRC plus against that handedness pitchers. So 22.7% K percentage, not exactly like they're striking out at the highest of clips either. But this is Lucas Giolito that we're talking about here. He's carrying a 44.1% K percentage. That is not going to maintain, but it's just absurd to be looking at in the early stages of the season. And if he can get that walk rate down, it's currently at 14.7% through his first couple starts of the season, back to around 7.1% that he had all of last season. You are looking at a very tough pitcher to get to go crazy on. And you're looking at him stretched out. He's 9,300, which is cheaper than Montas up there in the 10K range, cheaper than Cortes at 10K. I just really like Lucas Giolito here for this slate. So at 9,300, he's just underpriced relative to the arm talent, even against the Angels here that can definitely have some stuff. So pay attention to that Angels lineup as well, because there could be more strikeouts involved. You just want to see Stassi, you want to see Marsh, you want to see all of those guys in the lineup there. Suzuki would be a little bit of a downgrade from a K perspective. So probably doesn't matter as much because it's Lucas Giolito. You know what you're getting into. That's why he's 20% owned, but I think he's going to be my priority over Montas. Looking next pitcher for me, the aforementioned Nestor Cortes. I think he's just a fantastic option if he's just going to be 1-2% owned. I don't think anybody truly believes that this ridiculous start to the season is something that he can maintain for the long term. But for the short term, until you start getting some of these right-handed bats, figuring out what he's doing with this slider, with some of these off-speed offerings, doing a lot of quirky things at the plate, you're going to continue to see a pretty high K percentage. Do I expect 44.6% K percentage like he's got currently for the season? Absolutely not. But on a one-pitcher site like FanDuel, he's proven to have the upside. This cutter has proven to be a very effective pitch. He's throwing it 15% more of the time here this season because it's just been that effective, mixing in that slider sinker that I alluded to that just seems to just be fooling right-handed pitchers to the tune of a 66.7% whiff percentage. So Nestor Cortes, if he's going to be low-owned, I think he's my pivot off of Montas as well. I think Montas is the safest pitcher on the day. So don't get me wrong in that regard, but we're talking tournaments. I want to get to some of these lower owned guys. So I'm going to be prioritizing Nestor Cortes at 1.7% projected ownership. Maybe that comes up a little bit throughout the day, but still going to be the third most likely pitcher to finish as the top pitcher of the day. I'm here for that. And my last pitcher that I'm going to be going to specifically for FanDuel purposes, another guy on the top end, Adam Wainwright. But he's only 8,500, and I know that he's going to be popular over on FanDuel as well. 13.5% ownership we're looking at, but he's still the fourth most likely top pitcher. And I think the big difference between a guy like Alex Wood is just those savings. Going to 8,500 on DraftKings, I talked about Hunter Green being one of the guys that I really want to get to there. But he's 8K on this slate, a little bit less necessary for me for FanDuel purposes. And Adam Wainwright gets this cake puff Arizona matchup. Against righties for the season, they carry an 81 WRC plus. That is bottom 10 in baseball. They are just not a very good offense long-term. And, a 138 ISO, meh. Nothing really stands out to me from the Arizona side. So Adam Wainwright, pitching into his 40s, been very serviceable. I think he makes another safe option for FanDuel purposes, but might carry a little bit more upside against this Arizona squad. So those are my three tournament pitchers for FanDuel. Now, let's talk some stacks. And I talked about them on DK. I just don't know how we don't get away from the same three teams positively leveraged. And the only one that's negatively leveraged on FanDuel is the New York Yankees, but they're still my favorite offense to get to. Against Chris Bubich, the lefty here in KC, he ain't good. This Yankees offense is just primed to dominate lefties all season long. On the year already, a 118 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. They're ridiculous. Even a guy like Rizzo, getting just an immense amount of power from both sides, and 8 home runs on the season. I'm just seeing him as a guy who's locked in, and I don't really believe in hot streaks, but it's hard to neglect how good Rizzo's been here in pinstripes. So I'm looking at him as a lefty that I still want to get to in my stacks. You're probably going to get Gallo out of that lineup and Aaron Hicks leading off. So I'm looking at him as being another option to really get to in the outfield. And of course, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. It's a ridiculous lineup. With the amount of attention going Cincinnati's way on both sites today, I think the Yankees are going to be my favorite team to target, going a little bit under the radar compared to Cincinnati. Next up for me, the Houston Astros going up against Yusei Kikuchi. This is just looking at a pitcher in Kikuchi who once upon a time could avoid bats, but now no longer. It's just impossible for a guy to succeed who's striking out less than 20% of the time against this Houston Astros lineup, as well as walking at a ridiculous 17.5% clip. Kikuchi's been so terrible here for Toronto. There's no use in not stacking up some of these lefties against Kikuchi. I like Brantley. I like Tucker. I like Yordan Alvarez the most out of everybody there. Going to be under-owned because of the left-on-left, but Kikuchi gives up power to both sides. I just look at it as a team I want to be over-invested to. It's a very problematic spot for Kikuchi. So Houston, second favorite, and positive leverage to be had in the top stacks tool over on FanDuel as well as DraftKings. Last up, both sites. I think this is my favorite under-owned stack to be getting to. It's the San Francisco Giants. When they face righties, I'm going to have interest, especially when those righties are a washed-up Aaron Sanchez. He used to be a serviceable pitcher once upon a time, but that is not the case anymore. So even in the worst hitter's ballpark that exists on planet Earth, I think we want to be targeting Aaron Sanchez. There is one start, 5.6% K percentage. Nothing really to mine out of that, other than he's still going to be about what he was last year. Not very good. You're looking at some tough sledding here against Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford. I would like Jock Peterson to be in that lineup for sure. I think everybody would, but he underwent an MRI yesterday. There's been no word as of this morning here on Friday what's going on with him. So if he gets added to the lineup, that's another perk, another lefty to get to. But even a guy like Wilmer Flores from the right side has been very serviceable. Estrada, you get some decent enough power out of the catcher spot. I feel all right looking at the back end of this lineup as well, and very strongly behind the likes of Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford. So the San Francisco Giants, positive leverage in the top stacks tool, 1.5% of leverage, only a 3.9% ownership share, yet a 5.4% top stack potential. Lots of options on this 2016 13 game main slate for MLB, but the Giants, I think, could go a little bit under the radar. Let me know below what you think of my 3 pitchers and my 3 stacks for today. Give me your favorite stack, your favorite pitcher as well in the comment section. But don't forget to check out PrizePicks, the sponsor of this segment. Use promo code Awesemo. Get that $100 first match deposit bonus. I'm Eric Lindquist, and best of luck today.